All right, we're back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, to talk about professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside the ring. Backstage curtain calls, we talk about rumor, updates and statuses and all the drama surrounding professional wrestling. We talk about promotions from WWE to AEW to TNA to Ring of Honor to New Japan Professional Wrestling. Basically, if it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show 1,010%. So, hey, do not be shy and drop your thoughts inside that chat. Make sure you guys talk about the show. Make sure that you guys feel like you feel absolutely open to have, your opinion stated in that chat box right there. And don't be shy to hit that $sign. All right, so we're going to talk about Shinsuke Nakamura returning to WWE last week, attacking the WWE United States Champion LA Knight. Right, I like that Nakamura came back. Coming back as a heel, not so entirely. He was a heel on SmackDown where he was created a heel. He lost against AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Then he, hit him with that classic low blow. And then he changed up his entrance music, and then he was like, you know what, I'm changing up my entrance music so nobody feels like they can sing along. Because all the fans were like, like it was cool, And everybody was like, I love his theme song. I gotta be honest. I've been in the crowd a couple times where I got to witness Shinsuke Nakamura come out, and I was like, dude, it's badass. But if you're going to make him a heel, I don't know why. WWE, why are you making Shinsuke Nakamura into a heel? He should come back. He should, he's loved by the wrestling fans. It's a new, different style of professional wrestling. Other than that, you're getting the same thing. And what have you had in this WWE United States Championship hunt? You had Andrade taking on Carmelo Hayes. 7 games. 7 matches. It's the same thing. And if you had a little LA Knight, and then LA Knight, he'll take on Carmelo Hayes, and then maybe he'll take on Andrade. Like, it's been the same thing on the WWE United States Championship. Something needs to change. Something needs to change 1,010%. I thought maybe Santos Escobar would be a nice little change of scenery, but ever since Shinsuke Nakamura came back last week, stating that he wants what the LA Knight has, which is that WWE United States Championship. And I feel like it's perfect. I feel like this is exactly what Shinsuke should do. This is exactly the way, WWE has recently had their, superstars. Like, they're not necessarily pandering to the crowd in a negative advance, kind of like where you see with Bronson Reed. He's just going out there and effing crap up, dude. He's going out there and he's being, I'm going to make a name for myself. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to attack whoever I want without giving a damn about who I affect, because at the end of the day, I want to be in the spotlight. I got bills to pay. I got family to feed. I got friends to take care of. I need to make money. I need the spotlight in terms of professional wrestling, and that's what Bronson Reed wants to do. Shinsuke Nakamura should definitely kind of have that same approach as well. You're not a bad guy. You could be a successful heel in WWE without stating the claim that you're a bad guy. You don't have to go out there and flip off the fans. You don't have to go out there and insult the city saying it smells like crap. You don't have to do all that. You don't have to. And that's what I fear that's what they're going to make Shinsuke Nakamura do, and I don't want to see that. I feel like a lot of fans from the WWE Universe definitely subside with me, definitely agree. You had this already before. You had Shinsuke Nakamura being a heel for probably 50% of his career in WWE, maybe even more. I feel like he needs a nice little run. Like I said, no babyface, no heel, none of that. Just basically based on competition, based on competitiveness, And ever since TKO and WWE have merged, that's exactly what they've been trying to do. When you look at the UFC fights, you have the champions who are confident, super, super duper confident. But at the end of the match, they touch gloves. They're like, you know what? At the end of the day, guys, this is just a business. We're going to go out there, we're going to beat the hell out of each other. But guess what? At the end of the day, me winning, we're going to get paid money. And, that's cool. But overall, the promotion, the UFC, WWE is going to get attention. And that's what you kind of go out there for. Which ultimately makes it seem like, like in the UFC, you don't have, you have wrestlers. You don't have fighters going out there and, like, talking crap to the fans, trying to be that heel. Like, at this point in wrestling, like, I guess you could say that your average, ordinary heel is dead. You're not going to have that anymore in professional wrestling. Like, it was, for me, definitely, I feel like, sometimes you kind of have that overheel where you're like, it kind of seems like they're overheel. Kind of like what you see what WWE Monday Night Raw is doing right now with the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. Right now, it's, people are rooting for Gunther. People like that he kind of has this, sensitive side. But if you make somebody a heel too much, it just looks nasty. It's not too much. It seems like they're, much like when WWE fans in the early 2020s, late 2010s, you had Roman Reigns forced down your throat as the babyface, and then now you kind of have that heel. Sometimes they want to force it down your throat. And you're like, what? I'm not really into it. Kind of like what you see with SmackDown. You have Kevin Owens. He hasn't necessarily, insulted the fans. He really feels like he was done wrong by Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Good storyline. It's all right. It's good. But, you're not going to have Kevin Owens flipping out the fans and stuff like that because the fans like Kevin Owens. So that kind of leaves it up. Be like, you know what? Oh, we can root for KO. Hey, we can root for Shinsuke Nakamura. Guess what? We can even root for Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, even the champion LA Knight. But if you kind of have this, to the point where you kind of are having this, this competitor that Shinsuke Nakamura is, and if you're going to, kind of sublet, kind of drown out everything he's done in WWE, all of his fascinating qualities, all of his accomplishments, also, that moxie that makes Shinsuke Nakamura. You can't silence that. You ultimately have to, you have to allow that. You have to, you have to echo that. You have to have everything that he has to a point where he could, he could go on a run. And he could possibly damn near beat the LA Knight. But obviously, right now, like, the Shinsuke Nakamura comes within the WWE United States Championship division. I feel like it's right. I feel like it's the right place for him right now. I feel like WWE already dropped the ball with Shinsuke Nakamura 1,010%. Him turning heel and low blowing AJ Styles was so stupid. It was terrible. It was dumb. It was childish. It was nasty. At first I was like, okay, cool. But then that's something that WWE creative writers should not rely on. Should not ultimately back their credibility on. Be like, oh, I'm such a good writer. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to have Shinsuke Nakamura turn heel tonight against AJ Styles. And it happens. You get a positive reaction from the fans. The fans are like, yeah. And then 3 or 6 months down the line, people hate Shinsuke Nakamura. People don't want to watch Shinsuke Nakamura. And you get to the point where you're kind of, on your little PC, you're typing storylines, you're typing scripts, and you're like, oh, maybe it was, in the long run, bad. That shock factor, yeah, in professional wrestling, it's cool, and it could work if it's done right. But if it's done, really naive, like, it could be detrimental to the superstar. So right now, do I like that Shinsuke Nakamura came out last week on SmackDown to attack the LA Knight? Yeah. Because he's like, you know what? I'm going to come out and I'm going to prove myself as a contender. But I feel like WWE should ultimately embrace what TKO Holdings, what they do in UFC, where you have the fighters be fighters. You kind of have their personality showing out. Sometimes they can be confident, in their press conferences or in their promos, which could cause people to either like or hate them. But like I said, that traditional heel role in professional wrestling, I know it's a storyline. I know it's choreographed. I get it. It's, I'm not stupid. I get the kayfabe factor of it. But at this point, with this new day and age of social media, where people could post on their Twitter, where people could post on their Instagram, like heels like Chelsea Green, like heels Like, you know, like you can have people like post on social media and be like, I wasn't wrong and this and that and the other. And, you know, people know that wrestling is a show. Now more than ever. And I feel like now that just kind of makes it feel like, you know, sometimes you can't really have that, you know, you can't really have that traditional heel. Or that traditional babyface for that matter. But all I know is when Shinsuke Nakamura returned to WWE, I was happy. I was excited. I just don't want to see him burn down in flames thanks to WWE creative writing. I got to be honest. And, you know, that's really my hot take on that. All right, guys. So, hey, sorry, got to cut out a little early tonight. We are actually all out of time. It is 9:06. Usually we do 5 segments, but you know, my voice is very, very hoarse, and I apologize. I feel like I'm barely getting through this podcast, so I'm gonna, I'm definitely gonna, throw in the white towel. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Hope you guys had a great Friday. Hope you guys watched some AEW, Full Gear this Saturday. Tune in on Thriller TV or buy it on Bleacher Report or on pay-per-view on YouTube.com as well. You guys can definitely, tune into that. And tune in this Friday Night SmackDown. I'm going to go watch it right now. Can't wait to see it. But, thank you so much for tuning in to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Subscribe to the show, like and follow, on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or X, or whatever you guys like to call it, X or Twitter. It doesn't really matter. If I have not made you a wrestling fan by now, make sure you guys check out a lot of the other podcasts we have on here. We have football. We have college football. We have all-around sports. We have, the Dead Ball Football Podcast coming up in about 23 minutes. Make sure you guys tune into Emran's awesome podcast. He's definitely the hot takes king in terms of talking about professional sports. Sorry, excuse me. Better than Colin Cowherd, better than Nick Wright, better than Stephen A. Smith, better than who's that other white dude who follows the Cowboys? Skip Bayless. Like, he's better than all those guys, so make sure you guys tune into that. And once again, obviously, love you guys. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Hope you guys are gearing up. If you're traveling this weekend to Thanksgiving with your family, have a safe travel. Have fun with your family. Life is too short. Life is short. So make sure you guys, hold your close ones tighter this weekend. Definitely look across the dinner table. Look at everything you guys have to appreciate in this world. Look down at your plate. Have a nice, gorgeous meal. Just know that sometimes people don't have that option where they can look at, turkeys. Families in the United States, even all around the world, are struggling. Obviously, what's going down. Like I said, not trying to make this political. All around the world with the whole Ukraine thing. Like, family members, they've passed away. Some children are orphaned. So just know that, sometimes you got to look around the room and be like, you know what? So what if I don't have the job I have right now? So what if I'm making dog crap? I have food in front of my face, family and loved ones surrounding me. Sometimes, as much as it might be hard, I gotta be honest, I'm kind of guilty of this as well. Sometimes it's hard to kind of take an outside look at perspective, take an outside of the box perspective and be like, you know what? Maybe it's all not that bad. It could be worse. It could be worse. So live in the moment. Live in a moment. Share some apple pie, hang out, eat some turkey, watch some NFL Thursday football on Prime Video. Make sure you guys tune in and just, have a good time. GSMC Sports Network out. Stay beautiful. Most importantly, love you.